Hello everyone. So to kick off Milestone 3, we start with some scary looking template called the P&L template. And but it's really not all that difficult. Essentially what you're going to do is list the revenue that you expect to bring in. You want to change this from type 1 and type 2. Get rid of any you're not going to use. You want to customize this. So let's say I'm going to do a portrait business. So this may be family portraits, type 1. So I would type in here, I enable editing, and instead of type 1, I'm going to put family portraits. Okay, looks like I spelled it right. Okay, for type 2, I may be doing children's activities. And type 3, I may do special events. So you break down what you, if I don't have a type 4 in mind at this point, I would just delete it. So these are the three areas where I expect to bring in money. And I'll figure out each month how much I expect to bring in. Where do you start? Let's say I'm opening in January. I might start with a very small amount. I'm going to try and bring in $300 worth of family portraits, a couple of hundred in children's activities, and in January there are a couple of special events. Maybe I could bring in another 200. February, I would see hopefully a little increase. As the weather starts getting nicer in my area, I might see an increase. I might see a decrease in the summer. So you're going to largely get this kind of information by looking at your area, the kinds of things you expect to do. And of course, it's a projection. You are to some extent guessing. So I'm making a projection as to how much. And I'll show you my customized view shortly, where what I did for preservation scan is I created another column. I changed this column to be here's a projection, this is my actual. So each month I would actually fill in how close to my projection I came, so that over a period of time I could see how accurate I'm actually being. Maybe I'm getting more money from special events, so I should put more money into that. And maybe children's activities is not doing so well in my area, so I might put more into it, or I may decide to do less of it or change to something else. So then you have your total revenue, then of course your expenses. You'll find that there are a lot of blank other spots. If you're not using them, delete them. Don't leave yourself a lot of extra empty spaces. So here is the profit and loss worksheet that I created for Preservation Scan. And you notice I put projected. So scanning projects, I figured I would start it in November 2016. I projected 300, then I would see what my actual was. I projected that it would grow in December, taper off a little bit in January, have a low point, and then start to take off a little bit more February and March, etc. I would do restoration projects and miscellaneous. So in each case, I have a projected and an actual. And if I had actually started the business, I would have been filling these things in so I could see whether I need to adjust anything. I listed for expenses, I had things like dues and subscriptions, advertising, legal, rent, utilities, etc., my total expenses, and my net profit. So this is a very, very useful sheet. When running a business, I recommend you always keep this available to yourself and keep checking yourself to see whether your projections are accurate or whether you need to change anything. Once you've done that, of course, you're going to do some analysis. How did you arrive at things and what are you actually projecting? So you'll want to make some comments on it. For customer analysis, I really did the research based on my area. What are the demographics? Don't just say, oh, I'm just going to have a photography business and my customers are anybody who feels like calling me. You really have to target who are you aiming your business toward? Is it toward businesses in your area? Is it toward families? Is it toward sports teams? Who are you hoping will be your customers? And then you need to do the research. This is not just conversational or guesswork. I really did look at my area, how many people live there, what the median income is, what the ethnic breakdown is, how many photographers are in the area, because I was actually aiming this toward photographers. For competitive analysis, I really did research other companies that were similar to myself. I looked for similar business models and I really took a look at what are the comments that their customers have, how well are they doing, what are the areas in which I could actually compete with these people. What are they doing well and what are they doing not so well where I think I could actually have a competitive edge? And document everything. Once I did all that, I came up with a promotional strategy. How will I actually get the word out? Will I be attending photographic events? Will I be running ads? Will I participate in fairs and festivals? And my website. I recommend strongly that you not just assume that everything is going to be fantastic if you use social media. They may help, and in fact, I put that in my mix. It may be a really good thing for you, but don't just assume that if you post something on Facebook, all of a sudden everybody's going to find you and you're going to have a great business. You're going to have to do more. So do some research, see what's working for your competitors, see what's real world, and go from there. Good luck.